could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three. So the money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas and possibly not returning.
In a new development, Caitlin might be reconsidering her decision to relocate to Europe. This comes after her first declaration that she will take a hiatus from basketball.
Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that.
Given the high compensation offered in Europe, Caitlin might be persuaded to play there.
Is already in Istanbul, where she will be playing for the off-season, and from the sounds of this interview, it seems like she's probably going to make more money overseas in EuroLeague than she did during this WNBA season.
The cherry on top would be if Caitlin concluded that this was best for her career given the abuse she suffered from the NBA and the subsequent decline in their audience.
They were going to load up against better competition, and she played an entire college basketball season, and she didn't play well. And I said at the time, she didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team. And at the time, I felt that.
Since then, Caitlin has had an incredible season, breaking records left and right at center. The WNBA is now yelling for her return. Viewership has decreased significantly, and with Caitlin perhaps joining the EuroLeague, this could be the end of the WNBA. More than a week ago, Caitlin's Rookie of the Year victory was leaked on Twitter, and the WNBA has yet to make an official statement. Few people in the basketball world have become as famous and well-known as Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. However, despite her fame and accolades, there is growing speculation that she might be tempted by a move to the Women's EuroLeague Europe, which offers not only lucrative paychecks but also a different basketball culture that might appeal to a player like Clark who has faced challenges in the WNBA. Could Europe be the next chapter in her already storied career? Today, we'll delve into Caitlin's incredible journey, the obstacles she has faced in the WNBA, and the possibility of a move overseas that could change her basketball legacy.
The WNBA has been a mess this year. It has been so unprofessional, and they need to step it up, and they need to step it up quick, and they also need to, I don't know if an apology is warranted to Caitlin Clark, or they just need to, in general, do better.
The WNBA didn't just find a talented player in Caitlin Clark. They also found a star with that unique it factor that elevates the entire game. Despite her undeniable success, Caitlin Clark has had an indisputable impact on the league, attracting new fans and making her a must-see TV personality. The WNBA's physicality has been one of the biggest obstacles for Clark. Night after night, Caitlin has been the target of aggressive play and constant pushing from opponents who view her as the biggest threat on the court. It's no secret that these teams frequently target her because they know that if they can slow her down or get under her skin, they might have a chance to win. But what's even more frustrating for Caitlin and her fans is how often these players seem to get away with using excessively physical tactics due to inconsistent officiating or just the pressure of being a star. Caitlin has had to put up with a level of harsh treatment that many feel is unfair, and the frequent hits and fouls that go unnoticed only fuel her annoyance, leading her to question whether she's really being protected as the league's top player.
The response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her, is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're not mentioned talking about women's basketball. I've never ever seen you before in my life. Like,
even though Caitlin is the face of the WNBA and one of the most exciting players in the league, her pay is shockingly low when compared to her male counterparts in the NBA or even players in international women's leagues. In contrast, European clubs and leagues like the Women's EuroLeague are offering far more lucrative deals, even to players who don't have Caitlin's level of talent or star power. Many European players earn significantly more than their WNBA counterparts, even though the level of competition may not always be as high.
Caitlin Clark, it seems like this entire season, she was the solution for so many things, but so many players, coaches, media people, so many people were also painting her out to be the problem. She could never do enough. She could never speak out enough. Her fans were the issue. Fever fans were the issue.
For Caitlin, it's a frustrating reality. She's put in the work, become the face of the league, and continues to deliver game-changing performances, yet her financial compensation doesn't match her contribution. When it comes to the WNBA's salary, Europe's women's basketball leagues, particularly the EuroLeague, have experienced significant growth in recent years. Not only are the players paid better, but they're also treated like the superstars they are, with packed arenas, passionate fans, and intense rivalries. The atmosphere is electric, and the support for women's basketball in Europe often feels more enthusiastic and widespread than in the WNBA. For a player like Caitlin Clark, this could be incredibly appealing. What may have started as a simple trip to Europe to take a break from basketball and recharge after a demanding WNBA season could evolve into something more, experiencing the respect and appreciation European leagues offer their players, along with the financial benefits, could easily tempt someone who has at times felt underappreciated in the WNBA.
In one of the playoffs, the Fever had nearly 2 million viewers tuning in, while all the other games had around 400,000. Even the WNBA Countdown, which was aired before the Indiana Fever game, had more viewers than 2 of the series.
Caitlin has been open about her competitive nature, even though she had originally intended to take a break from basketball. In fact, she has stated that she would probably grow bored very quickly without playing the game. After all, Caitlin is a player motivated by her love of the game and her unquenchable desire to compete. So the prospect of playing basketball again, this time in Europe, where she could receive better pay and be treated with the respect a star of her caliber deserves, must be in the back of her mind.
Have somebody that's come along, who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white, and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before. And what we were seeing from an abundance of folks appeared to be resentment.
Caitlin, just think of the headlines. When Clark signs with a top EuroLeague team, the impact on the European basketball scene would be immediate. Fans from all over Europe would travel to arenas to watch her play, and her signing could even bring sponsors and media attention that had previously been lacking from women's basketball in the area. But what about the WNBA? If Caitlin were to leave, it would be more than just a loss for her team. It would be a devastating blow to the league as a whole. Caitlin is one of the league's biggest stars, and her name alone has attracted new fans to the WNBA. Her ability to generate excitement and increase ratings has been crucial to the league's expansion, and without her, the WNBA would probably see a sharp drop in viewership.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
Without a doubt, Caitlin Clark's presence directly affects ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and television ratings. If she were to leave for Europe, those numbers could take a sharp nosedive, leaving the WNBA scrambling to fill the void left by their brightest star. The league has long struggled to achieve the same level of recognition and media attention as the NBA, and losing a marquee player like Caitlin would be devastating.
Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever entertained?
For the WNBA, Caitlin Clark's potential move to Europe should serve as a serious wake-up call. If the league hopes to keep its brightest star, it must start treating her better. This isn't solely about money, though financial compensation is undoubtedly a significant part of the equation. More than anything, it's about respect, and creating an environment where star players like Caitlin feel truly valued, not just for their exceptional talent on the court, but for the excitement, attention, and revenue they bring to the league. Though Caitlin has proven time and again that she can handle the pressure, physicality, and attention that comes with being a star in the WNBA, there's only so much mistreatment or underappreciate a player can take before they begin to look for alternatives. Europe offers a tempting opportunity for someone like Caitlin, a chance to be paid more fairly, treated with the respect she deserves, and adored by a new, passionate fan base, whilst WNBA fans will move on and follow where she goes.
Every single time that they were on the road, you even had Dallas Wings players saying, like, it kind of sucks seeing so many Indiana Fever in 2020 or 22 jerseys in the stands, but it's also cool to see a lot of people in the stands. Like, Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games, and so it's kind of sad that through all of that, Caitlin was still advocating for players on the other team to get bonuses because she saw the kind of money and eyeballs and viewership that all of this was generating.
The WNBA is growing, but it's still far from a financial or cultural recognition of its male counterpart, the NBA. If the league hopes to avoid losing not just Caitlin, but potentially other top players, it must prioritize creating a better experience, one where its stars are treated as the game changers they are. If Caitlin Clark were to make the leap across the pond to play in a EuroLeague, it could set off a chain reaction. Other top players in the WNBA might start to wonder if Europe is a Better option for their careers as well. What could begin with one high-profile star's departure might snowball into a larger movement with more and more players seeking better pay treatment and overall experiences in leagues outside of the U.S. The appeal of higher salaries, a supportive environment and passionate fan bases could prove difficult for many athletes to resist, especially when they see one of the WNBA's brightest stars making that decision. This presents a serious challenge for the WNBA. How do they keep Caitlin Clark happy? How do they ensure that she and other players in her position aren't tempted to leave for Europe's lucrative and increasingly prestigious leagues?
The Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I mean, we can all see that. However, experiencing it in person is totally different. I was at the Fever in Indiana game last night, and the amount of 22s that I saw on the way to the arena and inside the Capital One Arena might as well have just been a home game for Caitlin Clark. Not Indiana, Caitlin Clark. The thing is, that didn't surprise me. But what did surprise me was how packed the game was.
Losing Caitlin Clark's potential move to the Women's EuroLeague is about more than just where she chooses to play basketball next. It's a reflection of the larger issues facing women's basketball globally. Players of her caliber who bring excitement, skill, and immense value to the game deserve to be compensated fairly and treated with the respect they've rightfully earned. Her departure would mean more than just the loss of a star player. It would mean a loss of momentum for the entire WNBA. She is a player who attracts attention, attracts new fans, and helps the league grow. Without her, the WNBA risks stagnation and a potential exodus of talent to Europe.
What is the major point that you want to make here, your major thesis statement on this? Because every time Caitlin Clark comes up, I feel like there's something that you want to get off your chest in terms of this narrative, where you're frustrated.
Well, first of all, I'm not frustrated. Number two, I did get stuff off my chest on numerous occasions. I'm just reiterating my points because I think one of the things that needed to be mentioned was that even though Caitlin Clark is new to this, and even though she has proven to be a potentially sensational player, the resentment that some, not most, not all, that stuff that was going on was real.
It remains to be seen whether Caitlin decides to stay in the WNBA and fight for change, but her decision will surely have ripple effects not only on her own career but also on the future of women's basketball. If she leaves, it may force the WNBA to re-evaluate how they treat their players and spark a larger conversation about equity in the sport. The financial disparity between the WNBA and European leagues highlights a growing issue where top athletes in the U.S. are frequently underpaid, especially when compared to their counterparts abroad.
To me, Angel may have exceeded expectations, even more so than Caitlin.
What do you think?
Caitlin Clark has already accomplished a great deal in a short period of time, establishing herself as a trailblazer in the game. Her dynamic play style and leadership, both on and off the court, have solidified her as one of the most significant figures in women's basketball. However, as her basketball journey progresses, the decisions she makes going forward will not only influence her career, but also have a significant impact on the future of women's sports in general. If the WNBA wants to retain its brightest star, they must begin treating Caitlin like the world icon she is quickly becoming. This entails more than just paying her fairly. It also means giving her the respect and acknowledgement her talents deserve. Time is running out, and Caitlin Clark is about to make a decision that will define his career and change the direction of women's basketball for years to come. Caitlin Clark has already accomplished a great deal in a short period of time, establishing herself as a trailblazer in the game. Her dynamic play style and leadership, both on and off the court, have solidified her as one of the most significant figures in women's basketball. However, as her basketball journey progresses, the decisions she makes going forward will not only influence her career, but also have a significant impact on the future of women's sports in general. If the WNBA wants to retain its brightest star, they must begin treating Caitlin like the world icon she is quickly becoming. This entails more than just paying her fairly. It also means giving her the respect and acknowledgement her talents deserve. Time is running out, and Caitlin Clark is about to make a decision that will define his career and change the direction of women's basketball for years to come. We'd want to get your thoughts on whether Caitlin Clark will stay in the WNBA or if the pull of Europe's larger salaries and affection for their athletes will influence her choice. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, like, and subscribe. More videos are now available.